Live. Oh dear, let me just sort this out. All right, there's an interview with Owen Jones and Noam Chomsky. That's a combo I never thought I would live to see. But there you are. I'm just setting up my laptop so I can check the stream, see what's going on. Hopefully, seems to be a bit slow. There we are. Right, okie dokie. I'm a little bit ahead of time. Hello, Imrahill. Von Dol Amroth. That's one for General Dan. He's a big Lord of the Rings maestro. Hello, Glenn. Nice to see you. In fact, I think the last time we played, he used Imrahill Dol Amroth. I seem to recall he absolutely stowed my head in as well. I was using Uruk-hai, so yes, no, they were rather tasty, I have to say. Oh right, I've put 7 on. It should actually be part 8, shouldn't it? Right, okay, naughty me. Never mind. Here we are. We are commanding respect, and so we were playing Lord of the Rings in that one. I have played War of the Ring though. It's nuts. I love it. So I've got I used Rohan for when I used to work for Games Workshop. We all had a big we all collected an army and then had like a staff event. So I got Rohan for that. My friend got Army of the Dead. Another one got Dwarves. And I'm not sure what dang. I think he may have got the Uruk-hai that I've got now, actually. So, yeah, no, it was a good game. The Dwarves were really solid. Let me just get that off there. There we are. Right, so today, what I thought we'd do is I'd do a quick review of a new product that has literally just arrived. Well, I say literally just arrived. Hello, Stephen. Nice to see you this time, buddy. I say it's hello, Will. Hello. Hello, Paul Downey. Yes, so it's a new product that I've just picked up on my way in and upstairs. And it's come a little bit too late for some figures, but it should be okay. And that is, well, once we've done that, we're going to look at the command. We're going to start on those guys. What I wanted to start off with is having a look at this, which is Geek Gaming Scenics. Now, this is Geek Gaming is a company founded by Luke APS. He is a YouTuber, or used to be a YouTuber. I don't know if he's still going or not, but he specialized in doing terrain. So this is his new company, and this is one of the bags that he does. I've ordered 2 of these. They were £5 each. And in here, this one is the Legio 14 Gemini. Hi, this will be perfect for you because this one I've gone for base ready Mediterranean soil. Now, it was actually General Dan that turned me on to these guys. I know he's basing his Peninsular War British with it. And what it basically is it's a combination of sand, gravel, flock, and a couple of other bits like that. So it gives you that sandy but green look that's going on. So let me just pour some out. There we go. Paul Downey says, I've used some of his products before. Highly recommended. Evening, Archie. Hello, Piano Wargames. I have just... that's great to hear. Thank you. I've just turned on notifications for your next Kickstarter, which I have to say, I looked at it, I was like, do I need Hesse Darmstadt? Turns out, apparently I do. So there you go. I'm busily painting up some Württembergers at the moment as well. So this is the stuff that we based last week. So we just used sand on them. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to apply a little bit of the Geek Gaming sand over the top of this. Now, I have to say, from what I can see so far, I'm actually very, very impressed with it. General Dan tells me that they do a separate, like, PVA glue, which you're supposed to use for it, but I didn't order any of that, mainly because I forgot about it. So that's the main reason. So I'm going to get this on. Now, as you just see me trying to squeeze it out there, this is actually quite old PVA. This is very thick in of itself. So what I'm going to do is the rest of the bases, I'm going to just use the Geek Gaming basing on. But for this one, I'm just going to put it on in patches. Just let me move that a bit further onto the camera. I'm just going to put it on in patches and let's see how it works to give me a rough idea of how it's going to look. So bang that there. Do I have? I do. Bear with me. This was a base for a First World War battleship, but now it's turned into something of a palette. So there we are. Let's bang that on there. Bang this on there. Oh, it's much paler than the sand I was using. Pop that on there. Pop that on there. Now I'm going to be honest. I don't think it looks particularly amazing. I'm just trying to zoom in. I don't think it looks particularly amazing at the moment, mixed in with the other sand. But I think that's because I'm mixing in with the other sand. I think if it was just this, or if I put another load on top, I think it would look a lot better. So that's, if it doesn't look great, I'm willing to say that that's my bad. So let's have a look. There we go. Tap this off. I'm hoping this is good because sort of thinking about it, I've got a lot of Mediterranean themed armies on the go. I've got Greeks for Mortal Gods that me and Dan bought the other week. I've got my Republican Roman army. I've got my Fallschirmjäger. They're designed for Italy. And my Americans, who are designed for the invasion of Sicily. What else have I got? My Assyrians could probably use this. I'm currently rebasing and repainting those at the moment. And of course, my Ottomans. This will be perfect for them as well. Because obviously we think of Egypt as being the desert. But you don't fight in the desert because, you know, no one wants to do that. So you fight where it's reasonably fertile. So I'm going to just bang some more on there. See what it looks like with 2 layers on. There we go. So I have to say, so far, I don't think it's particularly amazing. But that is almost certainly down to me putting it on just regular sand. If I was using just this, I think it would be a lot better. But I don't want to take the sand off the bases I've already done. So that's why I'm adding it to there. Now these guys, you may remember if you watched last week, we added some larger rocks to the base. So let's see how this goes. I've virtually picked up a bag of Nartak. Haven't used it yet. No, that's fair enough. Yes, Andrew, Frankie, these are indeed Spanish. Oh, Paul, nice to see you. It was a very good weekend, thank you. I got 3 wins, a draw and a loss. I was playing in a Warhammer Fantasy tournament. So I was pretty happy with that, although I've been getting reports all day that a load of lads have got COVID. So I'm hoping that I am not in that unlucky band. To be fair, I've already had it, and I've had all my jabs and everything, so hopefully, even if I do have it, it won't be anything too thorough. So let me just tamper that down. If you hear sort of weird noises, that's me blowing my nose. I do have a cold, which I'm hoping is nothing more sinister than that, but we shall see. To be fair, whenever I go to an event, I always feel a bit grotty afterwards. Tap that off. So there we go. As I say, I don't think it's particularly amazing, but that's because I'm putting it over sand already. I'm hoping that once we get this command group sorted, we can get these extra bases finished. And I use just this. It may be that I end up having to rebase these two bases. I'm going to try and avoid that if at all possible. So I'm going to leave those guys to dry in the corner of the screen. There we go. This is me blowing my nose. Excuse me. I'm going to go with the undercoating of the command. Now, I'm going to use Corax White, but as you can see when I open it, this has gone really horrible. It's gone very, it's separated, and it's gone very thick and lumpy. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use a coffee stirrer from Starbucks. They steal enough of my money, so I steal enough of their coffee stirrers. Pop that on there. And I'm actually going to work a little bit of water in, and it'll be amazing how much you can get out of what looks like a dead pot of paint, but it's actually not too bad. Let me get this just out of the way. There we go. General Dan says it can take a few tries to get a decent looking base. Yep, no, that's fair enough. I guess it's like all things, a bit of trial and error, and we'll get there. So I'm just going to add some water to this. I'm using a fairly small brush because I want to make sure that I get all the smaller areas. So what's everyone working on tonight? What troops are going to be marching forth from people's workbenches? I spent most of last week painting Empire infantry, so it's nice to go back to some Napoleonics. Well, that said, I've also been rushing around collecting up spare command groups that I had lying around as well. That is for a project at the end of the month. Yeah, that's right, Paul. It is. It's the Geek Gaming Mediterranean soil. Have I ever tried metal bases? I haven't, Christopher. No, I heard about them from long back in the day. I tend to buy magnetic sheeting now, or magnetic tape, which goes to the bottom of the bases, and that holds them in the movement trays and the packing case. You know what? I did say I wanted to use a small brush to get every part, but we're already 10 minutes in, so I'm going to switch to a bigger brush, and then I'll do the smaller areas when we the bits I've missed. Bolt action German Grenadier starter army. Oh, excellent. So you painted him up for any particular theatre, or is it just a general German army? I've got a load of Gerbesjäger that I need to paint as well. For Flames of War, they're 50mm, those ones. For ages, I wasn't sure how to paint their parkas that they wore, but I've looked at a couple of painting guides now, and I think I'm ready to give it a go. Kodos is doing bases for Kings of War. Also some fancy vibes here. Excellent. You know, I bought a load of Kings of War movement bases / movement trays, which I thought was an excellent idea. So I'm looking forward to using those on my Cossacks and my Mamelukes. So what it is it's a single base, single piece of plastic that's textured on one side, and it's got a little dip on the other, so you can use it as a movement tray. But it's let me see, it's 250mm wide, so 5 cavalry bases wide, by 100mm deep, so it's 2 cavalry bases deep. What I plan on doing with that base is gluing probably 7 or 8 Cossacks on there in like a loose formation. So rather than having them in 2 ranks of 6 or 2 ranks of 4 or whatever it is you do, they're just going to be a bit of an disorganized mob, which I think is quite fitting for Cossacks. And as I say, I'm also planning on doing that for my Mamelukes as well. But yeah, no, that's a really good product. I've also bought the Mantic Phoenix the other week as well. That's a lovely model, that one. That'll be going into my high elf army when I finally get around to painting that. I painted some Hessian Chevalier. I'm a bit tired of horses. No, again, your horses are absolutely gorgeous. I'm a real convert to contrast paints for horses. Now, obviously, that's nowhere near the level that you need it. But for us mere mortals, I think contrast paints are excellent for horses. Oh, but no, I'm very much looking forward to seeing those models. So thank you. Metal washers and magnets are what I use on the bases. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I mean, washers are pretty cheap as well, aren't they? So that makes a lot of sense. I built the Phoenix recently. Yes, no, it was really, really nice. I need to fill some gaps near its wings. Basing some of my Waterloo British. Ah, very cool. Is that the 12mm British, or the epic scale, or is that 28mm, or is it a completely different scale? Is it maybe 1/72 or something like that? 28mm. Ah, excellent. Yeah, you can't go wrong with a bit of 28mm British, I don't think. I use contrast paints for a lot of horses, but never managed to get a clean surface. Okay, no, that's fair enough. Yeah, yeah. As I say, for me, it's probably okay. But for someone who needed them to a display standard, then yeah, absolutely, I can see why they're probably worth experimenting with. But I can see why you'd end up using more traditional techniques. The models that are on your Kickstarter pages, are they painted in oils, or do you use acrylics for those as well? Because they look like they're oils, but I know that's quite an uncommon technique these days. Just getting in there. There we are. It's the kind of stuff I should do off camera, really, but I just did not have time last week at all doing these Empire boys. I wouldn't say that's heresy, but that's making me think about the Horus heresy stuff that I've got to do as well. So we'll we'll move swiftly on from that because I've got a lot of that that needs doing. I have been one thing that I have been doing Napoleonic wise though is I've been reading a lot more accounts of the Spanish army. Now it's interesting. There's a lot of people out there who are trying to push the Spanish as being unfairly maligned, which is probably fair enough. I think there's a lot of people out there who are trying to say that the Spanish were actually incredible troops, which I think is probably not true. I think the truth, as always, lies somewhere in the middle between them being great troops and terrible troops. So I've been reading up on that. I've also been trying to finish this script for my Napoleonic figures video as well. So that's still to come. That's going to be a bit of an epic, that one. I'm really looking forward to getting it done. I use normal acrylics. Oh, right, actually a lot of contrast paints, just not for horses. No, that's fair enough. Yeah, yeah. The dark blues are very nice. I've just used it's the wrong green, but I've just used Dark Angel's green for your light infantry. Now I know that you tended to use a flatter green, more like a matte 30, a sort of army green. But I quite like the blue tint that's in the Dark Angel's green, so I went with that one for my Württemberger light infantry. So here we are. This could have been done in 5 seconds with a spray can, but there you go. We're just chewing the fat. This doesn't need to be rushed. A bit of slow TV. Here in the UK, we've recently started showing Bob Ross on one of our Freeview channels, and that's been a sleeper hit of there's a bit of slow telly, some painting. Ah, there you go. Good evening, Benjamin. Nice to see you, buddy. Christopher Horner, I've just finished French Dragoons on metal bases, the 22nd with brown uniforms. Oh, nice. I don't see many people do those, actually. So, no, I bet that is quite nice. I painted my Portuguese, my Legion Portuguese with the brown uniforms. So they're the Portuguese troops that fought for the French. And that brown and the uniforms looks really nice. So I imagine those Dragoons do as well, actually. I seem to recall as well, was it the Spanish Cuirassiers that were considered to be like an elite unit? I think it might have been the Spanish Cuirassiers. Well, it might have been the Spanish Dragoons, I'm not sure. So I'm sure someone out there will know better than me. But certainly in back powder-wise, you might want to give them an extra stamina or perhaps a cheeky tough fighter. Bob Ross, best to watch before you go to bed. Yeah, absolutely. I did hear, now I don't think it's true, I did hear that he was special forces in Vietnam, but I don't know how true that is. I think it might just be sort of because you want the nicest, gentlest man to have, like, that violent history. But I don't know. It'd be quite, it'd be quite funny if he was. I think he did serve in Vietnam, but I don't think he was special forces. Working on some hunter's chicken at the moment. Oh, that sounds good. So here we are. I'm just trying to get as much as I can out of these nuggets of Corax white. There we are. I may need to go back in there with a small brush. One of the things that I find with these new Games Workshop undercoats is if you do miss a small bit, you can actually get away with it a little bit because it's so thick, it holds the paint in place around it. So if you do miss a small bit, it's not necessarily the end of the world. Now, you don't want to miss too much, obviously, but you can get away with the odd bit here and there. He was a drill instructor. Oh, right, okay, well, there you go. Good old Bob Ross. Speaking of Vietnam, that's a project that's very much in the forefront of my mind at the moment. Is Rubicon have just brought out their plastic Marines for Vietnam and MVA. Now I bought a while ago a bunch of Corgi 1/48 scale Hueys, so I need to weather those up a little bit, and then I'd love to do a battle set in Hue, which is the old imperial capital on the border with North Vietnam. There was fighting in the ancient citadel across the Perfume River. There's an excellent book by Mark Bowden on it. He's the guy who wrote Black Hawk Down. So I highly recommend. I read it when I was in Germany. I would highly recommend that one. So let's get this guy's pack done. Now, someone did point out to me in the comments of the last video that gluing the grenadiers on the base is all well and good, but I haven't done the design on the flame. I was like, oh, balls. So what I'm going to do with those is I am going to come back to them, but I'm just going to do what I can see, basically. I'm not going to sweat it. If you can't get a brush to it, you probably can't see it. So I don't mind that so much. But yes, it would have been a lot easier to do these flames here before these ons, before the model was glued to the base. That's for sure. But I got a bit carried away. So yes, thank you for the reminder. I can't remember who it was, but thank you. And I shall have to go back and do those. I had Bob Ross hair when I You used it up too soon. That was a problem, man. Rob McCord. He has a bunch of Austrian infantry waiting for somebody's attention. Ah, very good. Always good to see the Kaiserlicks. Has everyone seen the new Perry dragoons for the Russians and the Prussians? What were people's thoughts on them? Are you picking up a box or maybe a brigade deal, or you're going to wait and see what other alternatives come out? Using the Geek Gaming Scenic Base Ready Patchy Planes, my current 1066 project. With 3 army strength is a very easy way for basing hundreds of minis. Yeah, no, that's a fair point. Yeah, it's a good mass basing thing, isn't it? That's another thing I could use them for, actually. I could use them for my Norman army, which is set more for Italy, because it's also going to be a stand-in for an El Cid Reconquista army as well. So, yeah, that's a good shout, actually. I'd forgotten about my Normans, as I so often do. I shouldn't do, because I spent a fortune on that army as well, but there you go. I got it mostly from Futsal Miniatures. The cavalry are from Conquest Games. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. I got them before the Victrix ones came out, so I haven't really compared them to the Victrix ones. I did buy a Victrix Command Group sprue. They are chunky boys. They did not not go hungry as children. That is for sure. Kodos is trying to avoid a Russian army, but the Perrys make it really hard. Yeah, no, they do. Especially with their new greatcoat Russians as well. How quick are they to paint? I'm hoping that Wargames Atlantic do great-coated Russian infantry. You know, they do the Prussian Landwehr, the Prussian reservists. Sorry, I'd love them to do Russian greatcoat infantry. Just single box, 60 models, job done. I think that'd be awesome. But when they did their poll and see what everyone wanted, it was all sci-fi and fantasy, wasn't it? So I think the final, there were 12 entries. I don't think a single one of them was historical. So, never mind. Right, let's get this up there. Bosh, bosh, bosh. Whew. Right, yeah. Use a spray, kids. It'll save yourself a load of time. Just get this in the gap there. There we are. Make sure the side's done. Done in there as well. Done. Right, there we are. This Grenadier, he could do with maybe a little once over. Bye-bye. I love the new Perry sets. Very, very nice cover. Yeah, no, they do look good. Fellow fan of the big battalions, Robbie. Hello, Dave. I hope that Waterloo starter set's getting you're getting through that. Dave O'Toole in the chat. He was the first winner of our Christmas giveaway, and he won himself a Warlord Games Waterloo starter set. You guys are up early in the States today. Right, so did I bring up the white contrast? I did not, so that was rather silly. Oh, silly. Never mind. I also got from Geek Gaming these flowers as well, which I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with, to be honest. But I thought they were quite funky. They're a little full. They're a little bit clown world, so I don't know. I'll think of something to do with them. I want to get into this wargaming hobby, but painting these miniatures seems like a pain. Yeah, I mean it could do. It's like anything else. I think it's a semi-necessary stage to go through. You can play with unpainted models if you want. You can always get someone to paint your models for you if you can pay them. But you know, I also find it very therapeutic as well, actually. So you know, it's like anything else, isn't it? If you you want to put the time and effort into it, you will get the rewards out of it afterwards. But it is, you know, I'm not going to lie, it is a bit of a commitment to start off with. Now I've got the Leviathan. Oh no, I haven't. I got Black Templar here. That was a very close one. So this is going to be bicorns and boots, cartridge boxes as well. So what I would recommend, Alexander, is that you get yourself a couple of paints, get yourself a box of figures, a brush, and just have a go. See what you think. You know, it may be that it's not for you. I'm not a massive fan of painting. One of the reasons I do these streams is to force me to do it. But I certainly paint to play. But I do really like having nice-looking armies on the table. So it's it's sort of a necessary evil for me. But there are people I know who paint and never play a game in their lives. So I'm sure some of the guys in the chat here will have ideas and suggestions on how to make the painting less painful. That's right, Dan. Yeah, no, we're not mentioning the Swedes. You could always do the Swedes for Lord of the Shop, you know. Hashtag just saying. I was trying to persuade Dan that we need to do 40mm Peninsular War skirmish at the weekend, but he was resisting my siren song. I haven't shown him the Sash and Saber castings yet, though. I'm just checking the officer. His bicorn does have gold trim around the top. I had a feeling it might do. I'm going to do the edge as well, because that'll give us a nice base for the gold when we come around to doing that. So for now, I'm just going to do the officer with a completely black bicorn, and then we'll do the gold trim over the top, and then jobs are good. I'm actually just going to do something quickly off camera, which is another bicorn. The overall general, the fat guy who I keep showing, the one from Brigade Games, he is now glued to his command base. So I don't want to show him off yet. So I'm just keeping him a little bit secret, because I want to keep his command base a bit of a secret as well. I'm building it up. Everyone's going to be really disappointed when you finally see it. No worries, yeah, I agree. Contrast paints have sped things up a lot. I mean, if you're looking at, say, doing British, you could get by with a white spray paint, apothecary white, blood angel red, and the flesh. I mean, you could sort of get around with just those, really. You might want to do a few other techniques, but you could certainly get going with those. If you've got a decent local gaming store, pop in and talk to those guys about it. If you feel that they're giving you the hard sell, then obviously don't. But if they're not, if they're genuinely wanting to help you out, then give them the benefit of the doubt, I would say. But yeah, just be careful that they're not recommending like 200 paints to you, and then when it comes to paying, suddenly you know, 500 quid down the hole. Hello, Richard. Hello, Mort Cirque. First time watching live. You're procrastinating painting the French half of the Waterloo set. Ah, right, okay. Again, they're in great coats, so they're quite nice to paint. Actually, you can rattle through those reasonably quickly. Again, the contrast grey, I've found really, really good for those guys. And there. Now the drummer, he wears a different uniform to everyone else, because you know drummers do, much to my chagrin. Here, he's actually going to wear a blue coat, a dark blue. So there were two colours of uniform for Spanish line. There was white and there was dark blue. And the drummers, they wore dark blue. So I don't know if they wore white in the dark blue uniform regiments or not. That's something that might be worth looking into. If they didn't, then they might do in my army anyway. I find with the Napoleonics, there's so much that people say this is definitely what they wore, and I don't think you can't say that about troops now, let alone troops in the 19th century. Speaking of 19th century troops, have you seen in the news there was a mass grave discovered of British soldiers from the War of the First Coalition, so the end of the 18th century. I think it was 1896, I want to say. I could be wrong on that one. But yeah, there was a hospital that they found a load of skeletons outside. This is in the Netherlands. And they found that most of the people who died had injuries that actually almost completely healed. So the suggestion was that they died more from disease than their wounds in battle, which is particularly grim. I think if you've just been had some heinous wound, and it's finally healing, and then you get typhoid or something like that, then or malaria, then yeah, what a real absolute bummer that'd be. It is actually quite sunny at the moment, Richard. Thank you for asking. It's not too bad. I had to take my umbrella with me to work this morning because it was too warm to wear a coat, so I thought I'll take an umbrella. But yep, no, that's definitely gone now. It's lovely. I went round the local park at lunchtime today, and there's a big lake in the middle. Saw an absolutely humongous carp in there. There's a couple of I don't know if they're goldfish or koi, but they're pretty big. They're very orange. So I don't know if someone's released their goldfish in there and they've just become humongous, or if there's some genuine koi in there. I don't know. I also saw a crayfish in there as well, which, again, I'm not entirely sure how he got in there, but he did. Carrying a brolly ensures no rain. Hillsborough Park. No, it's not Hillsborough Park, although I do live very close to Hillsborough Park. No, it was Crooks Valley Park was the one. But yeah, Hillsborough Park is just down the road. In fact, if you ever hear on these live streams the geese flying over, we had that a few weeks ago, and they were on their way to Hillsborough Park actually, or possibly Rivelin. But I do enjoy hearing the geese, I have to say. Hello, Major Clanger. Hello to Huddersfield. I'm late tonight at the moment. I'm painting Victrix 28 Landvia. Very nice. You, sir, may be interested in an upcoming event, which is hopefully to take place in Holmfirth. That is not too far from Huddersfield. Rob, my son is absolutely fascinated with putting together a Swedish Napoleonic army. Does using multiple coats of contrast paint increase the intensity of the black? It makes it blacker than the blackest black. Yeah, it does. It does, but it also knocks out the sort of knocks out the variation, so it makes it really flat actually, which can be good if that's what you're going for. But if you're not, then it can just make everything look a little bit dull. Right, so let's finish off these booties. You used to live in Hillsborough? Oh, okay. Legends in the Shaky, yeah, absolutely. I've not been in the Shaky in years. We used to go on Christmas Day, actually. That's the only time we ever used to go in there, really. Let's get him done. Now, I've gone on to his trousers. That's a bit annoying. But it's not the end of the world. I haven't actually contrast whited these guys yet. Now, that's deliberate. Well, it's deliberate and not deliberate. So I didn't bring the white paint up with me. But the reason I didn't is these guys are going to mostly be in the front rank. So I want them to stand out a little bit, be a little bit brighter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight these guys. I will put a little bit of a shade on next week, just to bring out some of the details. But I'm not going to go crazy on it. So that's that one there. Very happy with that. Oh, hang on. I'm going to do up under the officer's bicorn. Where are we? There we are. And I've not done the seal skins because we're going to do those with Rhinox hide and then a black wash like we did the others. Well, basically, I've not done it yet. It's going to just be like a black powder event. I'm putting together the pack. Unfortunately, I've been moved from my normal workplace, the Fortress of Solitude, so I've not really had much chance to work on it. I'm actually training up new staff, so I'm having to do some work, which is goes very much against the grain, I can assure you. But yes, it will be Napoleonics. It will be 28mm, and it certainly will not be a tournament. That's something I'm very keen to put out there. It will not be a tournament. It will be an event rather than a tournament. So I've got the dark blue. This is Leviathan blue. This is what I'm going to use on the drummer. I'm using a much smaller brush for this because I'm going to try and get in there. This is maybe a little dark, to be honest. I can always highlight up from it, but I thought it would contrast most with the white of the rest of the battalion. So that's why I'm using Leviathan blue. I could use Ultramarines blue. That will give me a much lighter, a much grayer blue. But I thought for this first battalion, I would go with dark blue. And if necessary, I can always highlight up using the crag blue when this has dried. So, here we go. I'll flip him over. I'm trying to be as neat as I can. I'm trying to keep his cuffs proud. I'm trying to keep them white. That will, because it's such a dark colour, that will make painting the facings more difficult if I get it on there. Especially as we use quite a pale green for the facings. Oh, blimey. Okay, Rob. Well, thank you very much for staying up with us. Don't worry, it'll be on the channel. You can always come back to it. We've only got about half an hour-ish left anyway, so we'll have to go pretty much dead on 7 today. Oh, I've got it onto his turn back there. Very naughty. There we go. One of my paintbrushes is about to fall on the floor. There we go. So you see I've been a little bit messy up here. That's not ideal because there'll be some areas now that have got two layers of blue on, some with only one. So try not to do that if you can avoid it. Keep it all one flowing coat. There we go. Just added a tiny drop of water to this just to let it flow a little bit easier. Tickling him up there in his armpit. Again, a little dab of water. The Leviathan blue's got a lot of pigment in it, so it actually runs quite thickly, or it doesn't run. So you can afford to add a little bit of water just to just let it run a little bit more. There we go. Hello, Corvinus. Hello, Barry. Is the event at the Superlative Homeford Gaming Centre? Yes, it is. I need to finalise a time and a date with those guys as well. It may end up being the start of next year, if I'm honest. It may end up being sort of February time. But I will announce times and dates and all that stuff. But yes, no, it is a very cool centre. I ran a Warhammer event there a few weeks ago. And they're a good bunch of guys, good bunch of lads. So just pop it there behind his back. My word, a shout out. And the first. No worries. Thank you for joining me, buddy. Oh, blimey. Right. I found a flying black Templar over grey contrasts is quite good. Oh, right. Okay. Fair enough. Right, so that is that done so far. So what time are we on now? We're on 6:45. So what I think we'll crack on with today is firstly throwing my paintbrush on the floor. That's the most important part of the day. And that's my good paintbrush as well. So I'm going to do the muskets, his sword, the scabbard here, those muskets there. And I'm also going to do his sash. I'm going to do his sash silver rather than gold, because I think the silver is going... So this bit here is going to be green. Now, green is obviously a mixture of yellow and blue. So yellow and blue? Yeah, yellow and blue. So I don't want to put gold next to it, because that's a bit too close to it. So I'm going to put a cold metal next to it, and I'm going to use a light steel. That should contrast quite nicely with the green. It may fade in a little bit to the white. You might want to do gold on a model that's going to be predominantly white. But let's see how it goes. If it looks terrible, we can always paint over it. But I think it should be okay. With officers, particularly Spanish officers, there's a lot more leeway. You can kind of do what you want with them. Certainly, the Spanish officers did pretty much what they wanted, so we can too. Get this sash going up. He's got his scabbard down here. I've waxed lyrical quite a few times about this model. I'm very much looking forward to getting him painted. For me, he's certainly the model of the set. He is very nice. That's his sword done. There we are. His buttons, I'm going to do those gold to start off with, but again, I might end up doing them silver. His epaulette, I'm going to do silver. His gorget, which is this bit on his neck, I'm going to do that gold as well. I may end up doing that brass. We'll see. So we'll do his other auglet. There we go. That's much simpler, but getting this bit here is going to be the difficult bit. There we are. And then this side as well. Flip him over. Are you guys excited about the kit bag film? I saw some set photos. It does look quite promising, actually. I was a little when they announced that Jodie Comer was going to play Josephine. Now, I absolutely love Jodie Comer. I think she's an excellent actress. But one of the whole points with Josephine is that she is older and more experienced than Napoleon, and I think that Jodie Comer is most definitely not older and more experienced than Joaquin Phoenix. So I'm not sure about that. But also, didn't they get rid of her or swap her out to play someone else? Can't quite remember. Been doing ACW, but struggled to get Napoleonics painted. I did do the 95th and the 60th rifles. Well, there you go. You got two powerful formations there. Black over, steel over black does look very good. Yes, no, I agree. The reason I've done it over the white is because I'm going to use the Nuln Oil wash, and hopefully that'll bring it down whilst allowing the white to shine through a little. There we go. We'll have some Prussian heads for you and my cavalry arrive. Free to a good home. Ah, thank you very much. I have to say the commander model for the brigade deal, I wasn't that impressed with. I didn't think it was all that good. I get that they've got to make it, so you can do it for both Russians and Prussians. So I get that, But no, I didn't think it was that impressive at all, I have to say. Certainly compared to the Austrian one, he's absolutely gorgeous. I keep dropping hints to General Dan to give me one of his Austrian ones, but he hasn't picked up on them yet. So we'll do the fronts of the muskets here. Jodie Comer left the project because of timing issues. Oh, right, okay, fair enough. Manuel Timpo, hello. Don't you worry, sir. Don't you worry. It's always on the YouTubes if you miss it live. Don't worry. Hello, Majon Aza. I am painting some Spanish line at the moment. So these are Spanish 1805 to 1811 from Warlord Games. And this is their 1st battalion. So you can tell it's 1st battalion because it comes with grenadiers. So we've got some painters already. This is just the remainder of the battalion. And then we're going to be able to get these bad boys based. And we can have our first unit on the table. I've ordered the 1st battalion and a 2nd battalion for the Zamora infantry regiment. So hopefully they'll be arriving in the not too distant future. They're coming from the outpost. So affiliate link scattered around the channel. I always say I'll put one in the comments, and I never do. So I probably should do. But there we go. So just bang this on there. That's good. Bang this over here. Like so. There we are. His bayonet's a bit wonky. Never mind. Cool. If I want spare, I'll let you have it, but I've only got one. Yeah, all right, General Dan, I believe you. The commanding officer, yeah, no, I'm a big fan. So that is that one there. So I'm just going to let that dry for 2 seconds. I'm just going to give you absolutely superb TV because I'm just about to quickly paint something off camera. Where are we? This is the secret project. For the brigade commander. I should probably have painted him separately. Then I could paint him on camera, but he sort of needs to interact with his base, so I had to glue him on to find out where to put him. Really, so I wasn't sure if it was going to work or not. Not sure about the movie. Gladiator was okay-ish from a historical point of view, while The Duelist was great. Whilst 1492 Conquest of Paradise had issues. I'm not seen that one actually. I remember when it came out, but I haven't seen it. Hearing the birds in the background is taking this to. Yeah, hearing them at maybe 4 o'clock in the morning, isn't it? I can tell you. Little buggers. Still, they're nice to have around. We used to have a massive tree, and we used to get hundreds of starlings would roost in it. Well, thousands of starlings. But the tree got blown down, unfortunately. The starlings don't come around anymore. Right, let's bang this on there. It's actually taking a lot longer than I thought it would. Sorry, guys. Let's quickly grab that there. It's out of his leg. There we are. Right, okie dokie. So that's him at that stage done. Happy with that. Right, so the real reason I got the white is because I just wanted to. I know I've not put the wash on yet, but I just wanted to do the officer's trousers because then when I put the apothecary white on, it'll be over a lighter base, and then when I highlight up again, it should not have that. It should be a better effect. So. Well, all the greats, Menio, all the greats, and you as well, of course. Yeah, I've not seen Gladiator in a long old time, but yeah, it is a good movie. I'm just highlighting this guy's trousers. Then we'll have just enough time to bang the black wash on, and then we'll have to knock on the head. There we are. So we now do trousers there. Bit on his boots, never mind. So the plan is, as I say, I've got these 2 battalions of infantry on the way, these 2 boxes. I'm also going to try and pick up some Spanish cavalry while I'm at Partisan. I quite fancy doing some bright yellow dragoons. I'm also almost certainly going to be doing some Kraziers as well in their red coats because they're absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if they were part of La Romana's division. They almost certainly weren't, but I don't care. Yeah, I think Ridley can as well. Having sat through all of his Prometheus films, I have to say that I've gone off him a little bit. Oh, that's James Cameron, wasn't it? That was James Cameron. Or was it Ridley? No, I think it was Ridley who did Prometheus. Anyway, they weren't very good. So, right, so that's that done. Let's get the cap back on there. And then the final act of today. We'll get. Oh, hello, Scott. We're just about to. I'm just wrapping it up. Sorry, buddy. Greetings to you. I have to tell you, my 20mm Nassauers are almost finished. Nothing so good as actually close a project. Yeah, man. That's good to hear. I'm not sure I've ever closed a Napoleonic project, but that says more about me than anything else, I think. So I'm brushing the wash down because I want it to pull at the end of the bayonet down by the hand. There's the lock there. There's a bit too much on that bayonet, but that's okay because I can use that for this one. He has got a very wobbly musket. He can fire around corners like nobody's business. He's obviously a siege specialist, that guy. So just make sure it runs in between the barrel and the stock. There we are. So we get the sword going there. So next week we're going to look at doing the goal on him, the gorget there. We'll look at apothecary whiting these models, and then re-highlighting certainly the straps, if nothing else. Perhaps we'll get the facings done, maybe not. And then I suspect the week after we'll be able to finish them off, and we'll get them based using this Luke APS Geek Gaming Mediterranean Earth pack of soil. So that should be quite good. I could also do my Macedonians with this as well, couldn't I? Once I've painted them, that is. Well, at least the Regiment Nassauers von Crews are ready to rock. Okay. Let me just tilt that up there a little bit. Sorry, this is not going to be great for the camera. Well, the camera doesn't focus in very well anyway, does it? But there we go. I definitely need to sort that camera focus out. Maybe switch to a manual or something like that. I'll pop that there. Yes, if you could thumbs up the video, that would be great. I don't like to ask people to do stuff like that. I'd like to think that people do it if they want to. But yeah, if you could, that'd be great. It helps people find the channel, that's for sure. And Storm of Steel is rapidly closing in on me, so I definitely need more subscribers than him. Otherwise, he will dethrone me as the club YouTube champion, and we can't be having that. He is a multiple award winner, though. It is worth pointing out. So, having done the let me see. Having done the there we are. Yes. So, having done the metal, having done the wash on there. There's maybe a little bit on the flank of the officer. That's also Fulan. There we are. Oh, actually, I didn't do his epaulets and augelet, did I? Let's get that done now. Also, the lock on this guy's musket. So that's his lock done there. This guy is epaulet and his augelet. There we go. This, I believe, marks him out as a lieutenant colonel. In fact, he's only got stuff on one shoulder. I could be wrong on that one, but that is my understanding from what I've been reading recently. There we go. So that's him done. I think that that silver sash is going to look really nice when we get the green on it as well above him. Make sure that's in there. Good stuff. I'm going to go in and re-highlight that as well with a bit more just to line it up. But there we go. That's it for today. Thank you very, very much for joining me. As I say, next week, I'm hoping that we can get a little bit more on these uniforms done. Then perhaps the week after, we should be able to get them finished off. I'm very, very interested and excited to be trying out this Geek Gaming Scenics. I just dropped a Pritt stick on the floor. And we'll have to see how that goes in the future. I think it does look pretty cool. That looks worryingly like a nail. It's not that. So thank you very much, guys. And I shall see you next Wednesday, 6 o'clock on British Summer Time. And we'll crack on with more Spanish. I think when we finish this battalion, and I've done the officer, we might have a break from the Spanish. We might look at something else, but we'll certainly come back to the Spanish. Maybe we'll look at some cavalry, Spanish cavalry, perhaps. I don't know. We'll have to have a break, and we'll have to try something else. But thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you guys next time.